If you've ever wondered what it was like being Steve McQueen back in the 60s, you definitely have to go test ride one of these bikes behind me here. Now, Steve McQueen was that guy who made the Triumph Scrambler famous, and it got the nickname the original Desert Sled. And thankfully, Triumph have kept that Scrambler DNA and heritage alive to this very day. A couple of weeks ago, I test rode the Scrambler 1200s, and today I have the privilege of test riding and reviewing the brand new, all new 2023 Triumph Scrambler 900. Now for 22 it was still called the Street Scrambler, and here in the 2023 guise and color it is referred to as the Triumph Scrambler 900. The Triumph Street Scrambler, or as it's known from 2023 as the Triumph Scrambler 900, is a modern classic inspired by the desert races of old. Now it fuses old school heritage with modern capabilities. It comes with enough standard features to make it capable of light off-roading, if you want to call it that. And a modern classic usually doesn't have any electronic wizardry or tech in it. However, then it's just a classic, and Triumph has managed to find that stunning balance to make it a true modern classic, putting enough electronics into the bike but not to ruin the experience and still keep it a modern classic. Modern classic meaning you have your ABS and your traction control, but not too much electronics that you need a PhD or a degree or to ruin the whole classic experience. Now this Triumph Scrambler 900 has been around for a few years, and as mentioned, for 2022 it was a Street Scrambler 900, and a big change came for 2022 on the engine side. It was slightly modified to adhere to the Euro 5 emissions, and I think it was one of the last in the Triumph range. Now for 2023, very much the same motor. It is a 899cc, so a 900cc Euro 5 emission compliant single overhead cam liquid cooled parallel twin 4 valves per cylinder. Now this motor puts out 64.1, or call it 65 horsepower at 7,250 rpm, 80 newton meters, and it's the Bonneville high torque motor. That's what makes this motor so beautiful and so rideable in this Scrambler, guys. That high torque and low RPMs, 3,250 RPMs, you have 80 newton meters on tap. Really fantastic. I also love the looks of it. It looks the old school air cooled part with the airbox and all of that. Even the spark plug cap has the appropriate color. And as I always mention, I love the way Triumph hides the radiator in front. My Bonneville 2015 T214, really, it's the old air cooled, the last of the air cools before they went liquid cooled in 2016, and it doesn't look much different to this. I also like the blackout of this motor. Looks fantastic, 2023 model, and it has a 5-speed box, final drive chain, wet multi-plate clutch. Now brakes on this bike, Brembo 4-piston calipers up front, 310mm disc with ABS. At the rear you have a 2-piston caliper, 255 disc, also ABS. Your wheels, front is a 19-inch laced spoked, looks the part and is super cool, shod with a 100 tire. The back is a 17-inch shod with a 150. The suspension up front, KYB non-adjustable forks, 120mm travel. The back is a dual shock, has minimal adjustment. However, that's one of the fitted accessories to this bike. The seat height is one of those cool features on this bike. Super low, 790mm. When I go for a ride, I'll show you just how comfortable and flat-footed and sure-footed you stand on this bike. Fuel capacity 12 liters, and the red weight of this bike is 223 kilograms. Talking about accessories aftermarket fitted on this bike, let's quickly go through them. On this bike, what is non-standard would be these LED indicators, and they just go so perfectly with the standard headlight and taillight, which is LED. You have your grille for the headlight, which looks so Steve McQueen period appropriate, fantastic, love it. This handlebar sponge with a Triumph embroidery in it. This little Triumph tank protector is an extra, and here the Fox adjustable rear double suspension makes it look really great. It also, if you're doing a little bit more off-roading, it is a fantastic option to have. And lastly, down at the bottom you have standard a Teflon bash plate, but this is the Triumph all aluminium bash plate. So fantastic. When it comes to colors, 2022 you had the three options: the jet black, urban gray, and the two-tone matte khaki with the matte ironstone. For 2023 you have this color, which is your carnival red and jet black accents. You also have your plain jet black and your matte khaki. When it comes to your dash, looking up front, it is a digi analog, and you'll see analog around the outside for your speedometer. Nice for commuting. It's the only thing you really need to know. But you also have in a little TFT or LCD display, you have your range, your fuel, your gear, your odo reading, and all of that. You have, when it comes to electronic, your torque assisted clutch, which is really great. I'll demonstrate that. You don't have to give any throttle input at low revs. You just let out the clutch slowly and it pulls off, which is superb for those novice riders. You have switchable ABS, obviously front and rear, and your traction control. You also have your 3 rider modes: road, rain, and off-road. And that's about it when it comes to the electronic package. And that shows you it is a modern classic. It's based on a classic, it looks classic, and it has those little rider aids, little bit of electronic to keep you safe for modern day riding. I must say, I really love it. But we're gonna go for a ride now. Before we go, one of the things that cosmetically just looks so fantastic, that stainless steel brushed exhaust all the way to the back is standard. That high exhaust 2x2 all the way to the back looks the part, sounds the part, could be a little bit louder, but is brilliant. When it comes to placing this against the opposition, I would say you're looking at the Ducati Scrambler, Desert Sled, the BMW R90T Scrambler, maybe the Indian FTR Rally. I don't know if that's a bigger capacity, but that's sort of your competition. But this is the true Steve McQueen experience. Now, just to recap on the big changes that came in 2022, the upgrades for 2023, it's minor changes, basically color and what we've gone through. Now, the slight changes on the 2023 would be obviously starting with the motor. The Euro Emissions 5 was for 2022. In 22 they had a limited edition called the Street Scrambler Sandstorm, and that was 775 units. I think there was a 2022 limited edition. Now, the other changes that came in 2022 would be the side panels. Now, you don't really see it this side because of the heat shield and the high exhaust. On this side, have a look at that nifty aluminium, let's call it board with logo, your Scrambler 900 embossed in it. It's like a number board. You have new throttle body finishes, new aluminium headlight brackets for the front, and heel guard. Here you can see the heel guard, so you don't mark the blackout of the engine covers. That new adventure styled textured seat, and it's fantastic. It's cushioned nicely, it's very firm, but it's also not slippery. You can remove this and fit the rack to make it look even more old school. And then the other thing that has been left out is the knee pads, as they don't come standard on the base models anymore. On the 2022 limited edition, the Sandstorm, it came on, but they are sold as an aftermarket, so you can customize it as you want. So as per this 2023, knee pads no longer as a standard. And the other thing, it has slight more weight, I think 2.7 or just under 3 kilograms, and that is due to the new cat and air injectors. But other than that, those were the changes from 21 to 22. The 23 very much the same, slight upgrades, very minimalistic, but the paint the biggest. And I must say, I really love this Carnival red with the jet black accents. Now the clouds have just come over and the glitter in that red has disappeared. I think it's perfect timing. Let's do one more walk around and then let's jump on and take her for a spin. What a fantastic bike, what a fantastic package. It's not going to set any land speed records, not going to set your hair on fire. It's not like the Triumph Rocket, but it is a solid, fun, all day, every day, heritage, modern classic, all round superb package. Now some of the first things I want to show you, just have a look how easy it is to get neutral. It is a click like that. It's one of the easiest things, a superb gearbox. Love this gearbox. Now putting it in first, have a look at that. We're on a slight uphill, the bike is rolling back. I stop it, I hold it, and now have a look. Here's my hand for the throttle. I'm just going to slowly release the clutch and have a look at this bike. There you go, here's my hand and the bike's pulling off. This is that torque assisted clutch and I'm still going. I'll do it again, I'll pull in the clutch and I will stop the bike. Here's my hand, release the clutch, my hand is in front, no throttle input, and like a John Deere tractor, this bike is pulling off and then I get onto the gas. Superb. If I stop like this quickly, neutral, smooth, silky smooth, one of the finest I've ever ridden and tested. First gear again, have a look at that. You can do it time and time again, and this bike has enough torque, so as a novice you don't have to panic. This bike does it for you. I love it. The sound is great on this bike. Seating position, comfortable. As I've said numerous times, low seat, upright seating position, wide handlebars, makes for awesome control. For commuting, for adventure riding, for lane splitting, for off-roading, that is the perfect seating position. It's only on tracks that you want to be hunched over, all the weight over the front wheel for that control. But as a scrambler, all-round package. Also the power of the 900, the torque is what you want. You don't want out and out speed like horsepower. You want the torque to push you forward, to not have to change gears radically through the box. It's only a 5-speed box, but you have torque at a low 3,200 RPMs. You just roll it on and off you go. You don't have to go through the box like a hooligan chasing or searching for gears. So simple, effective, modern classic that will give you smiles all day long. And it's not just one of those sanitized commuters which just serves a purpose. This has everything. It has the appeal, it has the British heritage and the good looks, and you will draw attention with this bike. Wherever you stop it, even on a breakfast run, it will draw attention. It's not just a clinical sanitized commuter. There is plenty of fun factor with this bike, but on a practicality level, this bike really tops out. If I just stand up on the pegs, you can keep your speed. The suspension does it for you. You can take in all the scenery with your shifting your body weight. You can turn this bike. Very little input on this wide handlebar gives you the leverage to turn this bike. The brakes for this capacity bike, for what it is, plenty powerful with Brembos, no fade. The sound is brilliant. I wish it would be a little bit louder, because loud pipes save lives, and the sound is really that scrambler, that raucous roar. You just want a little bit more of it. It is addictive. But I must say that the gearbox as well is very, very positive. When you drop it a gear, you just know you're in gear. It's not in a false neutral. Confidence inspiring. Upshifting, quick, simple. The clutch lever action is like 2 fingers, very soft. And the bike, everything works in harmony. Everything works like it's supposed to. Let us shoot down this road. There's plenty stonk on this motor, and it's just fantastic. You've got that little bit of grumble, vibrations, and that just gives it that old school feel. It's, even though it's liquid cooled, very different to my 2015 Bonneville T214, it still harks back and has the same soul to it. I think soul is the right word. These Triumphs have soul, and the parallel twins versus the triples, the bikes just speak to you. It's fantastic. If you just stand up on the pegs, this bike handled these bumps without a problem. Have a look at that. I'm still doing 60 k's an hour, keeping it at 60, and here we go, hopping over it effortlessly. So suspension travel 120 mil, I think it is, front and rear. It is ample. Can also ride it like a hooligan, as you can see. It's just also depends how you move your body and how you sit upright or a little bit slouched, a little bit forward. With that torque, you can just give it some. It is very light, nimble. The levers, as I mentioned, with a clutch, it's 2-finger operation. Even the brakes, you can do 2-finger braking. It's very progressive, not fade. I love Brembo brakes. They definitely confidence inspiring. And if you jump on them, you know you have ABS. You're not going to lock up your front and just lose it. Having rained the last few days, you're always looking out for that loose gravel at intersections or robot traffic lights intersections. But with the ABS, you can confidently grab a handful in front and know you're going to be okay. And that's why I refer back to modern classic. It's not just a classic, and if you owned a classic ever, you know you have to tinker with carburetors, and it's hard work nowadays. You know, we appreciate, if we have a classic now, we really appreciate the modern technology. You don't have to set carbs and the floats and have this messy oil leaking, dripping. Like they always make jokes, old British bikes always came with a oil tray at the bottom. That's not it anymore. The Triumphs of today are of the finest quality, build quality and engineering. And you have the heritage without having to tinker on a carb or kick-start it. Push of one button, off it goes. You have the classic, the heritage feel with the grumble, the rumble, the parallel twin, the similar engine noise, yet you have the Euro 5 emission. And you have things like traction control, so should it rain or have slippery surfaces, you can go to rain mode or off-road mode. And your road mode, you have traction control with the rider modes, and then your ABS front and rear. So it is the best of both worlds. Modern classic, modern bike, classic feel to it. So all round heaps of fun. Thank you very much. And this is why I love commuting on bikes. You don't have traffic here. We have the traffic light out again. With all the load shedding in South Africa, that's a common thing we have every day here. and then traffic is an absolute nightmare, and commuting on motorcycles just makes life fun again, and the freedom. And here we go. This is what it is. I was at the back of the queue. Within seconds I'm at the front of the queue, and lane splitting, non-intimidating. Just what a fantastic blend of a motorcycle. Nowadays we think 900cc, oh, it's a small one. Triumph has the Scrambler 1200. Do you need the Scrambler 1200? Ask yourself, what are you buying? Are you buying an adventure? That Scrambler 1200 is brilliant. I mean, it's a crossover. It's also everyday usability, but it's so close to an adventure bike. Could actually be palmed off as an adventure bike. And I must say, I really loved it, and I would most probably in the future see myself having one of those in my collection. However, from a practicality, everyday, sometimes less is more, this is the bike. The platform of this 900, it's everything you need, everything you want, and plenty to misbehave with. Yeah, I didn't change gears, I just rolled it on. I have more gears, and here we go. How can you say a 900's not enough? I have more gears to go. Here I'm in top gear now. I'm over the speed limit already, and I haven't even joined the highway. I'm still over the speed limit, and I'm rolling off. There's more than enough for me to incur a couple of speeding fines and lose some money. Not that we want to do that, but this is brilliant. This dash, minimalistic, but exactly what you want. One quick glance down, you see your speed. That's what you want in traffic. You don't want your attention drawn away too much from what's up ahead. This dashboard's clean, clear. You can see up front, nothing is obtrusive. It's superb. Dash, electronics, the correct blend of tech with old school. These rear view mirrors, look how solid that is. It's not 20 cars behind you when there's only one. There's only one. Solid performer. This, as mentioned, is an extra. Looks the part like the MX bikes, this being a Scrambler. If you look, the tank, very slim. My legs tuck in nicely over here. If you want to customize, you can get those knee pads. They're still in the Triumph catalog to customize it. As mentioned, no longer a standard for the 2022 and this 23 model. This red metallic is fantastic, and I'm really glad they brought that color out for this year. I like these contrasty colors that pop. Controls, switches, as always, solid, super easy to use, and very Triumph. Once you've ridden one Triumph, you quickly learn you don't need instructions. Here's your mode button. I'm currently in road mode. If you look at the bottom, if I push this in once, the rain is flicking off with the gas, throttle in, and we're in rain. I push mode once more, the road is flicking, clutch in, off the throttle, and it's engaged. That's how simple it is, on the fly, and just brilliant. As I've shown you, the gearbox, fantastic, superb. I have seldom found a gearbox where neutral is so easy to find. You can't even use the word find. It's just there, always there. I haven't missed it yet. The whole day, from the very first time when I pulled off and used it, neutral was always there. Very positive and smooth gearbox. I've never had the fear or confusion whether I selected the gear or am I false neutral. I know I'm in gear. So for me, jumping on a new bike that I've never ridden before, it's all there. It's confidence inspiring. I'm not thinking about it, searching for stuff. I know where everything is. Having ridden Triumphs before, clock really overly easy to read. You can see on this your gears, your odo, and your fuel in your range. It's all there. You'll see as the road dips and goes uphill, I'll leave it in top gear and I'll just roll on in 5th gear, and you will see here we start climbing, and I'm just going to roll it on now. I'm not dropping a gear, and from 120 I'm up to 130, and here comes 140, and we're climbing, heading for 150. That's enough, plenty. I'm off the gas, so more than enough. I love a torquey motor, and that's why I'm a big fan of twins. Always ridden my Ducatis, BMW Boxers, and I have a Bonneville, and I have a Triumph Thruxton in my collection, so I'm a big fan of twins, and this 900 does not disappoint. The seating position is extremely comfortable because I can move back or I can move further forward, closer to the petrol tank, and then my ankles and feet are pretty much under my bum. If I'm getting a little bit tired and I want to change the pressure point on my bum, I can move backwards and move the feet forward, so I can have nearly a mid-mounted foot position with the foot pegs, so plenty space ergonomically to move up and down. There's no reach forward to the handlebars. There's absolutely no weight on your lower back or your wrists or your forearms. Super comfortable. I hope you enjoyed this first look and ride of the 2023 Triumph Scrambler 900. If you enjoyed it, please remember to give me a like, a thumbs up, and please hit that subscribe button to help me build the channel, and that reminder bell if you like, to let you know whenever I'm uploading new content.